are trimming up nearly a 9-pound brisket. I believe it was 8.89 pounds. We're getting this fat off of there, getting all this silver skin off of there, getting it all trimmed up and seasoned up and ready for the smoker. Now this is not a real big brisket, but it's perfect for our Sunday get together. Now I shake a little bit of my SPG on there, continue to trim this up a little more, and then we're going to add the salt and pepper. We get the kosher salt. This is coarse salt, kosher salt, and we sprinkle it all over pretty well. Now we'll apply our coarse black pepper, get it all over the place on that thing, get it everywhere. Hey, this will be great. Basically all I ever use is coarse kosher salt and coarse black pepper. That's basically the only seasonings I use on a brisket. But you can add your seasonings, what seasonings you want on it, and it's personal preference. The main thing is, if you like it after you get it cooked, you done it right. We'll get this side all seasoned up. Now, you know, I did say kosher salt and pepper only is what I usually use, but I did put a little bit of SPG at the beginning. Well, we vacuumed out the pot there and gonna get it going here, and it'll ignite here in a little bit. There it is, we got it going, and we'll place the flame tamer back on top of it. You know, this flame tamer is, you just wipe it off. It just gets soot on it from the burning of the pellets. And now when you line your pan, you need to make little slits around it, all the way around it, where the vents are in the pan itself. That way the heat between the tin foil and the bottom of that pan can escape. This makes for a really easy cleanup. Okay, we got our brisket in there, we got our meat probe in, and we'll come back and check it in a little while. I do believe it's getting some smoke. Well, we'll check it out. Looking good. I added my pellet tube in there to add a little extra smoke. Now we had added some quartered potatoes in there, seasoned up with butter and all, and we're letting them smoke, and then we're going to wrap them up. Oh, look at that brisket, looking good. And remember to keep your water pan full. And so we're getting ready to pull that brisket off because it has reached an internal temperature of around 160 degrees and it has stalled. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to place it back in there. And now we'll get this wrapped up. Now this tin foil was a little bit sly of making it work in the middle there. Should have turned it the other way. But anyways, we double the tin foil, and then we'll get it all wrapped up really good and tight, and we're going to place it back in there, and then we'll put the temperature probe back in also. And then we're going to wait. We're going to put it in there and wait for an internal temperature of 200 degrees. So we get it in there, shut that door, and let it continue to cook. After we top off the water pan, firm believer in keeping that water pan full. Now we'll latch that door and let it continue to cook. Hey, we've been smoking this at about 250 degrees. It does wonderful at that temperature. like I said, this was a small brisket, and it actually cooked faster than I really thought it would. I think it took about 9.5 hours, I believe it was, and it was ready. Okay, we're gonna get this brisket off of here and take it in the house and let it rest. Now we let it rest for about an hour and a half or so. While it was sitting in there, the temperature would rise, and then it had started dropping back down after a while. And when it got down to about 180, I started slicing on it. Well, we get this brisket unwrapped and get it laid out here, and we commenced to slicing, which I guess I missed part of it. Anyways, we got a beautiful smoke ring. This brisket was tender. Oh, and it tasted great. Had a nice bark on it. It was really delicious. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And I want to thank each and every one for watching.